Chapter 2 is not only the longest of the work, but also one of the most diverse. It is shared that one reason the letter is being written is so that we may not sin. In verse 2, Jesus Christ is referred to as the righteous, and then in the next verse, it is said that He is the atonement on behalf of the sins of the whole world. The text continues by discussing the keeping of Jesus' commands and abiding in Him. The 5th verse teaches that for whoever keeps His word, the love of God has been perfected in him. Starting at verse 7, a new theme appears in the work, which is revisited multiple times later on. A new commandment is given, that being to love one's brother. In verses 8 through 10, contrasts between not only darkness and light, but also hating and loving one's brother are provided. The 11th verse warns that he who hates his brother is walking in darkness and does not know where he is going. In verses 12 through 14, John returns to the reasons for his writing, which are introduced at the beginning of the chapter. He refers to his readers as little children, fathers, and young men. Both verses 13 and 14 mention knowing Him who is from the beginning and overcoming the evil one. The verses that follow speak of multiple lusts, such as that of the flesh and eyes, and also the egotism of life. These lusts and the world will pass away, but he who practices the will of God abides forever. In verses 18 through 23, a biblical term is discussed, that being the antichrist. The reason this is being written is because there are many antichrists. As this section begins, John says, "Even now many antichrists have come to be." These verses help readers to identify such people. For example, verse 22 tells us that an antichrist not only lies and denies that Jesus is the Christ, but also denies the Father and the Son. After discussing the lies of these antichrists, John stresses the necessity of letting that which was heard from the beginning abide in us. If it does, then we will also abide in the Son and in the Father. At verse 25, we find a magnificent promise of everlasting life. 3 verses later, the author encourages the little children to abide in Him, so that they may have boldness and not be ashamed in the presence of Jesus. The chapter's final verse teaches that everyone who practices righteousness has been born from Him.